traveling alone can be exciting. But traveling alone to Hong Kong for the first time, that can feel like stepping into another world. Hong Kong is crowded, fast, vertical, and full of movement. Trains run underneath you. Double-decker buses pass beside you. Old trams slowly move through streets surrounded by giant buildings. And almost everywhere you look, something is happening. But the big question is Hong Kong a good place for your first solo trip? And if you have never been here before, where do you even begin? Your adventure will most likely begin at Hong Kong International Airport. The good news is that getting from the airport into the city is fairly easy. One of the fastest options is the Airport Express. It gets you from the airport to Central in around 25 minutes. But speed is not your only option. There are also airport buses. These can take longer, but they can be cheaper and give you your first look at Hong Kong from the road. And of course, there are taxis. If you have heavy luggage, you're tired, or you simply don't want to figure out public transportation immediately after a long flight, paying more for a taxi might be worth it. That's one of the nice things about Hong Kong. You have choices. The question is, when you arrive somewhere new, would you rather save money or save time? One thing I would recommend early in your trip is getting an Octopus card. Don't let the name confuse you. It's basically a stored value payment card that makes getting around Hong Kong much easier. You can use Octopus on the MTR, buses, ferries, and the famous Hong Kong trams. You can even use it at many restaurants, convenience stores, and shops. Tourists can buy physical Octopus cards at Hong Kong International Airport, including at the airport station. So instead of constantly trying to figure out fares and searching through your pockets for coins, you can tap and go. For a solo traveler trying to figure out a new city, little conveniences like this make a huge difference. Then comes one of your biggest decisions. Where are you going to sleep? Hong Kong can feel like several different cities packed into one. If you stay around Central, Wan Chai or Causeway Bay on Hong Kong Island, you'll be surrounded by skyscrapers, restaurants, shopping, and nightlife. Cross Victoria Harbour and you have Kowloon. Areas such as Tsim Sha put you close to the waterfront and incredible views of the Hong Kong skyline. Go into places such as Jordan, Yau Ma Tai, and Mong Kok. And the atmosphere changes again. The streets can feel denser. The buildings can feel older. Markets, restaurants, and little shops seem to fill every available space. This was the Hong Kong I really wanted to experience, because sometimes I don't want my hotel to separate me from the city. Sometimes I want to walk downstairs and immediately feel like I'm inside it. But there's a trade-off. Older and cheaper accommodations can mean smaller rooms and fewer comforts. So ask yourself, would you rather have a beautiful hotel room or walk outside and immediately experience the Hong Kong you came to see? And then there is something that might sound strange. One of the things I was most excited about wasn't necessarily a famous tourist attraction. It was riding in a Hong Kong red taxi. For some people, it's just transportation. For me, it meant something more. Growing up and watching Hong Kong movies from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, these streets, buildings, and taxis became part of the image I had of Hong Kong. So actually sitting inside one felt almost like entering one of those old films. And I especially love seeing some of the older taxi cars still working the streets. There's something nostalgic about them. The seats, the dashboard, the meter, the view through the window. Hong Kong's red urban taxis are part of the city's visual identity. And while ride-hailing apps may be more familiar to many travelers today, I think the traditional taxi itself is an experience. Sometimes travel isn't about reaching the destination. Sometimes the transportation is part of the destination. And there's another Hong Kong experience I think every first-time visitor should try. The tram, or as many people call it, the ding ding. These double-decker trams have been moving through Hong Kong Island since 1904. And this might be one of the cheapest sightseeing experiences you can have in the city. Don't just ride it for a couple of stops. Give yourself time. Go upstairs. Find a seat near the window and watch Hong Kong pass underneath you. Try riding during the daytime. You'll see stores opening, people heading to work, markets, delivery trucks, old buildings sitting underneath enormous modern towers. Then come back and ride it again after dark. Same tram, same city, completely different feeling. Signs begin glowing. Restaurants fill up. Headlights cover the streets. Buildings light up. Reflections appear across the windows. Hong Kong almost transforms in front of you. Which Hong Kong would you prefer? The city you see during the day or the city that appears after dark? Of course, you should visit some of Hong Kong's famous attractions. Take the Peak tram up toward Victoria Peak and look down at the city. Walk along Victoria Harbour. Explore Sim Sha Tsui. Walk through Central. Visit Mong Kok and its busy streets. Explore Temple Street. Take the Star Ferry across Victoria Harbour. Visit Causeway Bay. Explore Sham Shui Po. And if you have more time, don't assume Hong Kong is only skyscrapers. There are islands, beaches, hiking trails, fishing villages, and quieter communities outside the busiest parts of the city. That's one of the surprises about Hong Kong. You can spend the morning surrounded by skyscrapers and later find yourself looking at mountains or the sea. And now we have to talk about food. For some people, eating alone while traveling can feel uncomfortable. Hong Kong is the perfect place to get over that fear. Walk into a local Cha Chan Teng or Hong Kong-style cafe. Try one-in noodles, roast goose, barbecue pork, beef brisket noodles, pineapple buns, egg tarts, dim sum, curry fish balls, and Hong Kong milk tea. Don't only eat inside shopping malls or international restaurants because they feel familiar. Go somewhere local. Sit down. Look around at what everybody else is eating and try something. You might have to point at a menu. You might not know exactly what you're ordering. That's okay. That's part of traveling. And traveling alone gives you another advantage. You don't have to convince anybody else. See something interesting. Eat it. Want noodles for breakfast? Do it. Want another egg tart 10 minutes later? Nobody is stopping you. Then there's the question every solo traveler should ask. How safe is Hong Kong? Hong Kong is generally considered a relatively safe destination for visitors, and its transportation system makes getting around without a car very practical. But safe doesn't mean careless. You are still visiting a major international city. Keep track of your phone and wallet in crowded places. Watch your belongings on busy trains, markets, and tourist streets. Don't carry large amounts of cash unnecessarily. Be cautious if a stranger approaches you with an unusual offer involving money, shopping, gambling, or an investment. Be careful with anyone offering deals that seem too good to be true. And make sure you're using legitimate taxis and transportation. Also remember that Hong Kong has its own laws and rules. Something that may seem normal where you live could be treated differently here. A good traveler doesn't only research attractions. A good traveler researches the rules of the place they're visiting. So, would I recommend Hong Kong for a first-time solo traveler? Absolutely. But don't come here just to collect pictures of tourist attractions. Ride the transportation, get an Octopus card, take the MTR, sit inside one of those red taxis. Ride the ding ding from one side of the city to another. Ride it again after dark. Take the Star Ferry. Walk through an old neighborhood. Sit alone inside a tiny restaurant and order something you've never eaten before. Because Hong Kong isn't something you only look at, it's something you experience. For me, riding in those taxis and watching Hong Kong through the window connected the city. I was finally visiting with the Hong Kong I remembered from old movies. And maybe that's one of the best things about traveling somewhere for the first time. You arrive with an image of a place inside your head, then slowly, street by street, meal by meal, and ride by ride, the imaginary place becomes real. And when you're traveling alone, there's nobody else deciding how you're supposed to experience it. Hong Kong becomes your own story.